Is it working? No.
Yes, we are online, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes. And you? Is it working?
Just go back to the chat. YouTube people, can you hear me?
Oops. Yeah, all good.
Can you see comments, Fabien? I can't see anyone.
Yeah, so I can see the comments in on YouTube, and I can see our screens on the event on Steam.
Oh, for some reason, I can't see YouTube comments.
Do you see them? Do you want my phone?
Yeah.
Wait, no, they're not. Why?
Sorry, guys.
Oh, damn.
Can you hear me on Steam? Can anyone see Steam comments?
Okay, show the chat and.
Can you hear me on Steam? Can anyone see Steam comments?
Okay, show the chat and. I think it's good.
Yeah?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, I can't see anything anywhere, so maybe you will have to look at the chat yourself then. But anyway, let's just go ahead and start. Welcome, guys, to the first Haven Park stream. I hope all of you already saw the new demo on Steam and are eager to try it out. Yeah, today we want to tell you a bit about the development and get to know us, and especially the developer, Fabien, who's joined me today. And yeah, maybe you can just start by telling us a bit about yourself.
Yes, sure. Thank you. So first, let me thank you, guys at Mooneye for making this possible and for making this happen. It's great. And I'm really happy to be here. So thanks everyone for watching and for being hyped about the game. That's my first game, first live stream, and a lot of firsts today. So I'm really excited and a bit stressed, but hopefully it won't be a problem. And I started working on Haven Park for I think a year and a half now. That's my first game. Yeah, it was just before the first lockdown that I started the development of the game, and it was a project I had in mind for a long time. I started. Well, actually, I wanted to make video games for a long time, and I couldn't find the right moment to do it. And I decided to just dive in and do what I wanted to do. So I wanted to have a small game, not too difficult to do, not too, not with many features, just a simple and very efficient game. And that's how I came up with the idea of a small exploration game like Haven Park.
Yeah, awesome. Definitely a good idea to start with a smaller game like Haven Park and not like we did with a game with 15 playable characters and everything at once, basically. So yeah, really cool to hear that you.
Yeah, especially because it was a game. I wanted to have the full experience of game development. Really from A to Z, and from prototyping, designing, even publishing, which I started alone, and then you guys joined, and so I think for that I'm really happy about this experience so far, because I could really get the whole experience of game development.
Awesome. Let me just change the scenes here, which I completely forgot, and also introduce Seneca by doing this, who is playing the game next to us at the moment, so you can see a bit what it's about and how it's looking, and yeah, just to get
Yes.
something else to see than just our faces. Yeah, but great to hear that it worked so well for you for your first game. So you basically did almost everything yourself, right?
Yeah, I tried exactly the assets, music, and of course I got a lot of feedbacks from people testing and giving me advices. But really, I wanted to make this my own little project. Especially during the lockdowns, I had a little bit more time, so I took advantage of that to start this adventure.
Yeah, definitely a good way to deal with that, and not just sitting frustrated at home and doing nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It was a bit difficult at the beginning because I didn't know how to start. You are in front of the white sheet of paper, and you're like, okay, how do I start this? From where do I start? And so I just basically made a map with Unity. No, first it was a map in Blender that I tried to import in Unity. And then it was too complicated, so I just made a terrain in Unity, and try to make a small character wandering in and trying to make the place interesting, to make little coves, little area cliffs, and just having fun exploring and going outside when I couldn't in real life. It was
Right. Yes.
Refreshment.
Did you have any background in programming or anything like that before, or did you learn everything with Haven Park?
I worked on a few project, a VR project, but it wasn't. We didn't really use coding. It was more like sequence. No interaction and stuff like this to code. So coding in C# was really a first experience. But I have a background in JavaScript and web development, so that really helps.
How long did it take you to get the first prototype or first playable thing happen?
I think 1, 2, maybe 3 months. But it was really different. The beginning, there was a completely different story. Even the character was a bit different because it was a blue bird, could fly. But then I decided to make it simpler and just a little guy that can only walk around and discover the place and talk to other NPCs.
Yeah, being able to fly definitely makes things more complicated.
Yeah.
A good call, probably.
And it wasn't an island in the beginning. It was surrounded by cliffs, just to contain the player inside a specific area. But it was a bit frustrating, I think, to have these huge walls everywhere. So I turned it into an island, which is more refreshing with the water everywhere.
Yeah, especially when you yourself are locked down in between walls as well.
Exactly.
Just wanting something free in the game.
Yeah. I think it's more people really prefer this kind of areas and openness.
And I guess it also fits better with the theme of just a holiday resort type of thing.
Yeah,
just to be a bit more.
Yeah, definitely. Because that's something that wasn't present in the first or maybe two first prototypes. There were no camps actually, and no campers. It was just a small adventure where you have to to go from point A to B, C, and finally get to the end.
Okay.
And then I felt like it was missing something. Something was missing. I decided to add these small camps where you can really craft your own little place and make it cozy and make the games yours.
That's definitely something that we immediately loved about the game when we first played it. Just being able to create your small little world with your own designs and really helped just making this little world feel your own.
Yeah, definitely. And also there was no skills, because now in the game you can get skills when you get experience, and you can unlock different skills. Yeah, like you can see here on the screen, and that wasn't present. So there was no feeling of progression with the character in the game. So that's really something that I wanted to add. And maybe something that I will probably add in the future is more, character customization, where you can also add more, I don't know, like a small hat on the character, maybe a glasses or clothes, I don't know, something
That's
cool.
That's always really awesome. Yeah, just even the tiniest details, being able to customize those.
I know that as a player, that's something I really, really like. So.
Yeah, definitely, exactly. Even if it doesn't really do anything, just being able to change the color of the hat or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's cool.
So is there a particular reason why you chose this camp setting? Anything that in particular that influenced you there? Or that?
I think I'm not especially a camping person, but I really like to have these little settlements, and where you need to make it your own place, and I think that was just, it happened naturally like that. Being in a very natural place, and it felt natural to have a small tents, small teepees, and campfire and stuff like this.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Probably just is something that you automatically think about when you walk around in this little forest.
And at the beginning, one of my inspiration, of course, was a Short Hike, which is a beautiful game, and I really, really felt in love with it. So, of course, I took inspiration in making this, same feel, but I wanted to have my own style into it, and specific gameplay that aren't not present in a Short Hike, like creating the campsites, to really make my own game.
Yeah, definitely, and that is, I would say, definitely a pretty cool thing to just stand out from games like Short Hike. That obviously there are a lot of similarities there, but Haven Park manages to add its own little thing and its very own style. And
because that's a challenge when you take inspiration from another game. You don't want to to make it just like the same game, but you also want to to incorporate your different ideas. And so that was also a big question, as when is it too far to take some ideas, and when is it okay? So there is a line you have to you can't cross, and you have to be respectful about the creators of different of the other games.
Yeah, definitely. So is there any reason why you chose the bird as the main character, or was that just starting from the very first idea that you from very first inspiration that you took from Short Hike, basically?
Yeah, at the beginning, it's because I wanted it to fly. But then I removed it. But I felt like the character was, I got attached to the character, so I didn't want to to get rid of him, so I kept him. But he was blue, and I turned him into a cute little chicken instead of a blue bird.
It was Twitter.
Yeah. And I had really a lot of fun also to create the other characters, make the little guys that you can talk to and try to understand their different stories.
That's definitely something that I wasn't expecting as much when I first just saw the game, when we first stumbled upon it, because some of these characters really have their own very unique personality, and that really you just immediately see that they are written and designed with a lot of love, and they really make this game and this world feel alive and just a lovely place. So very well done.
Thank you very much. It's it was really challenging to keep each character his own personality and not feel repetitive in the sentences and just make it feel natural and yeah.
But I think you definitely managed to do that.
Cool, thank you.
What would you say were the main hurdles and main difficulties during the development?
One that I can think of now is at the beginning, I had a lot of troubles to find the right size of the map. That really was difficult for me because when you start, you can't really go back. You have to just choose something and then go with it. And if you're not happy, you have to start over again. And I had to start a few times over again because either it was too big or too small. So, but now I think I'm happy with the current size of the island, and I think it's not too big, so you can just get lost and not find your way. And it's also not too small, so there is always something funny to find, some place, some area to discover or rediscover. But yeah, definitely that was a difficult thing to do.
I can definitely relate to that. Because also when you work in this level for too long, you just don't know how fast other people will just run through it, because you know all the ways, you know everything. You just, when you want to go from A to B, you just, a minute later you're there, basically. But other players might look around, look for the right way and take 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And also that can be frustrating if they just can't find the way. So yeah,
exactly. And that was also one of the other difficulty I had. It's to keep a fresh eye on the project and on everything actually, because the map, I know it by heart now, and I can't get any surprises, of course, of different areas, and it's difficult for me to imagine is it obvious for the first player to go this way instead of that way? How do you make a specific area where the player feels convinced, feels like to make a path, but without marking it. It's inviting the player to go at some place, but without being too obvious. That was also a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah, that's right. Just trying to understand what a new player would think at different points of the game. That's always the most difficult part. Yeah.
And what do they remember? Because for me, something were quite obvious. And then when I was testing the game to some friends, they were like, "What? I didn't understand that at all." And for me, I was like, "But come on, that's here. That's just look at the screen." But something that are really obvious are for me weren't for the others.
Yeah, that's definitely really interesting and weird sometimes, just seeing someone else play and doing completely different things to what you usually do.
Yeah, I guess you had that kind of experience with Lost Ember.
Definitely, yeah. Basically, every time we showed it at some demo, at some convention, every time there was some guy that just did completely unexpected things.
Yes.
So that doesn't stop any time.
Mm.
When was the first time you let anyone else play the game?
That's a good question. I think it was not too long after the first release, but it was a very close circle first, like just a family. My wife tried it, I think, first, and yes, I think it was a month or two after the beginning. But then after maybe 4 or 5 months, I had more people involved in the testing loop.
How did you go about that?
About the different tests, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. I was quite happy with the kind of feedback I got, because I was afraid to have this kind of feedbacks where okay, it's good, but, and then it goes like, you can change this and this and this and this, and then you're like, okay, I should start over. But no, I didn't get this kind of feedback. It was always on point, like specific things, and especially with you guys at Mooneye, because and that's also a reason why I choose to go with you with this project, because you really gave very specific things to improve without changing, the spirit of the game, and without having to redesign everything. So it felt natural. It was like, yes, that's obvious. That's an obvious thing. I should do that. So it's always a good sign when you work with a partner, and it's fucking like that. It's important.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Yeah, I guess just working with someone that kind of gets what you're trying to do, and works on the same along the same line is really important.
Yeah, because I felt like you really understood the game, and you respected the main direction. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, definitely. And we, of course, we didn't want to interfere with your idea, because that's always when a publisher gets involved and just throws out random ideas that just don't really fit to anything, that the whole thing just crumbles, basically, because you can just feel that it's not designed with one main direction in mind. So yeah, definitely didn't want to do that to Haven Park, because it
and I appreciate because that was really a moment when I had to decide to work with you. I really had this fear, because I didn't know you, and as we worked together, really I was reassured that it was the right move, and it's just made sense to make this decision. So it's good.
Yeah, thank you. Perfect. So now that we are working together, and we're getting closer and closer to the release, how is your current feeling about everything? Are you nervous? Are you just excited? Are you scared?
I think I'm more excited than stressed for the release, because initially the game was planned to be released in April, and then when we started to work together, you asked me if I wanted to delay the game and to push some things further, which was a good move. And but now I really want to get the game out and see the reaction of people and see how it's going. So more excitement than fear. I feel confident about the game. I want to add more things before the release, making sure that the demo goes well and everything is happy with the game as it is now. and yeah, release the final game.
And that's a perfect, just a reminder for me to ask you guys if you play the demo or already played the demo, to just write us any suggestions you have, any feedback, and any, especially of course, any bugs you encountered, if any, hopefully not. But yeah, just any idea you have to improve the game or anything that you thought of while playing it, just write us an email or write us in Discord. There's a Haven Park Discord on the Haven Park homepage, havenpark.com, havenparkgame.com.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can write it there or on Twitter, of course, or any way you want, basically. We are really looking forward to hearing from you. That's basically the main thing. We're doing this Steam Next Fest thing to see what you guys think of the current state of the game, if you like it, and if you have any suggestions and feedback for us. So don't hold back with that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very important. Really, we count on you, because that's how you make you improve on a game. After working on something for a long time, you can't clearly step back enough to really improve the game. So we really need your feedbacks. Yeah.
Exactly. So do you already, any of the people watching anywhere, have any questions for us, for Fabien or for me, or maybe Seneca or anyone else?
I'm looking at the chat if I see any questions, so don't hesitate if something pops into your mind.
Exactly. We can just give you some time to think of some questions and just talk about something else.
Yeah, sure.
So,
yep.
What are you looking?
Yeah, I was just wondering, how did you get in touch? I don't remember. Was it because of the Wholesome Game posts, or
how we found you?
Yeah,
I'm not 100% sure. We weren't sure when we reached out to you either anymore, because back then we just started out with the publishing label and just basically had the idea to do this, and we're looking through Twitter and Reddit and things like that for interesting games, and had this little list with a couple of games on it. And yeah, you were on the top of that list. But I'm not 100% sure how we found you. I think it was probably the Wholesome Games Twitter, because with our label, Mooneye Indies, we want to focus on wholesome and narrative and cozy games. So the Wholesome Games Twitter was basically perfect for us to dive in and look at everything they did, basically. And they tweeted about you a couple of times and retweeted stuff. And then we just got in touch and things started happening.
Yeah, the adventure started.
Okay. Is there any question from anyone anywhere?
So the game is going to be released in August 5. Get ready for it.
My headphones just switched off.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. Can you hear yourself?
Yeah, I can hear a feedback loop.
Okay, maybe just turn it down. Is it better now?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I can still hear you.
Cool.
So the full game will be released on August 5 on Steam and Switch, and will also be available on itch.io and for Windows, Mac, and Linux. And so mark that day red in your calendars, everyone. August 5. Not too long to go. And if you don't have any questions now, don't hesitate to ask us anything you want at a later date, and just reach out with any kind of question or whatever you have for either Fabien or us. And
And don't hesitate to join the Discord, because that's where I would be the most active and responsive. So if you have any feedbacks, any bug, anything, it's the best way to reach me or
exactly.
Tobias.
Also to keep up with development, because you post your updates on there and just what you're working on.
Yeah.
So definitely a good place to be if you want to find out more about Haven Park.
Yeah, definitely.
And last but not least, of course, if you like the game or the demo, don't forget to wishlist on Steam. That's always the most important thing before release, and basically the best thing you can do to help us prepare for the release. So don't hesitate to click that wishlist button. And I guess that's it for today. We will do a couple of other streams throughout the next fest on Friday and Saturday. Maybe next week as well, not sure yet. But so if you missed this one and just recently switched in the last couple of minutes, there will be another stream on basically the same time on Friday, where you can ask your questions. That will be without Fabien, unfortunately, but Seneca and I will be here and answer any questions you might have, and dive a little deeper into Haven Park and focus a little more on the game itself and the demo you can play on Steam right now. All right.
Cool.
Then I don't see any last-minute question anywhere. Do you?
Nope. No, I think it's good.
All right. In that case, I think we can say goodbye, and thank you for joining us today, and of course have fun with the demo.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Yay.